UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, and this is a very special UFO report dealing with cow mutilations. Just by coincidence, this will be number 6 in our UFO film series, and we're actually in post-production on that. Should be available probably in June, the way we're going with it, but maybe sooner. We'll see what happens. But it's in Australia, and I'll get into that and so much more. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Noble Gold Investments have made it their mission to stay on top of the most important economic news. 3 bank runs in the last month. These are the second largest and third largest bank runs in the history of our country. The government is taking steps to guarantee all deposits. But folks, that means more money printing. Plus, the Fed is sitting on unrealized losses of $1.2 trillion on their $8.3 trillion bond portfolio. And the Fed will continue to raise interest rates even if they tank the economy. Do you know who are the only ones who are not afraid? The ones that are invested in gold with Noble Gold Investments. Folks, gold is the most stable asset outside of any government control. Thousands have approached Noble Gold Investments to get their hand on gold. Hurry and go to noblegoldinvestments.com to secure your wealth now. Plus, you can bag a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with each gold or silver IRA if you qualify. Folks, check it out. Please go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. We did several months ago, and I got to tell you, I'm really glad we did. Once again, noblegoldinvestments.com. Aliens' only explanation for mutilated cows found on an Australian farm. A cattle farming couple based in remote central Queensland have lost 20 cows in very strange circumstances. Here's why they're convinced aliens are to blame. Now, what they do here is they show you the 2020 Pentagon declassified one of the videos by U.S. Navy pilots. It's off the Nimitz. It's old news, but what they do is they juxtapose that. So here's from the Pentagon, and so this isn't that far out. You go back 10 years ago and whoa, this is major woo-woo stuff, okay? But now it's not. Now we're talking about cow mutilation, so let's get into it. The aliens are the only explanation for mutilated cows found on Aussie farm. So, a mutilation mystery is playing out in a remote central Queensland property after a number of cows were found dead in inexplicable circumstances. Over 18 years, grazers Judy and Mick Cook say 20 cows have been killed in the same strange manner on their Uwangella property. Organs removed with surgical precision, without a trace of blood left at the scene. The most recent death was 6 months ago, according to the Daily Mercury, when the couple found the carcass of a cow with its udder, cheek, and tongue cleanly removed. Let me stop right there. What we got to understand here, and I'm going to weigh in what I think this all is. And remember, this is number 6 in our UFO film series. Number 5 is crop circles. Number 4 is abductions. 3 is close encounters. And you're going to want to see that. 2 is experts weigh in. Number 1 is just, here it is. This is sort of a primer to what's going on. The phenomenon is ongoing. We spent a week in Colorado. We interviewed Chuck Zukowski. We interviewed a rancher on his farm, Ron Miller, on his farm. He lost 16 cows over a period of years. These guys, same thing, 20 cows have been killed. It's unbelievable. And whoever is doing it, they go in and they remove all the blood. The blood is completely drained from the animal. And then the organs are carved out with surgical precision. 2 things we can do here. We can run from this, pretend it's not happening, stick our necks in the sand and just pretend and hope it will all go away. Or we can look at the phenomenon from what? A biblical perspective. And once we do that, we come up with the answers. There is a breeding program that's going on, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me continue. The most recent death was 6 months ago, according to the Daily Mercury, when the couple found the carcasses of a cow with its udder, cheek, and tongue cleanly removed. And once again, there was no blood or marks of movement at the scene. So when the animal dies, right, he's not thrashing about. The cow isn't thrashing about in the pasture. It's like he was dropped there or placed there. The only explanation they come up for the mutilations is as strange as the crimes themselves, aliens. How is it happening? It must have something that lifts it up and puts it down and doesn't leave any marks, Mrs. Cook said. Aliens are the only explanation I have got. The baffled cattle owners told the publication they previously never believed in the supernatural, but started to think it could be something not human after seeing the strange lights in the sky around our property. One night there was a light in the distance, very bright. We couldn't tell how close it was, Mr. Cook said. It looked like it was just on the boundary of the property, where I had found a mob of cattle out that way the next day who looked terrorized, and they started running as soon as I got close to them, which was very strange. The couple who run 1,100 cattle on a 14,000 acre property, which is about, well, that doesn't matter, are not an isolated case. This is what it looks like, some of the pictures. The udder of a cow is removed, surgical precision. Similar incidents have been reported for more than 50 years across the world, including Australia. But UFO Research Queensland President Cheryl Gottschall said there had not been an incident in Queensland for quite some time. A man had traveled to the Cape York Peninsula looking for aircraft parts from World War II, and he came across a mutilated bull and two calves, which had its eyes, stomach bag, testicles, as well as the backside removed. If you were going to do this, wouldn't you hide the carcass? No. They drop it back in the farmer's field. Why? Because whoever is doing it, and we all, you know where I'm going with this, for those of you who follow our work here, they do it with impunity. They come and go, they take what they want. They take little girls out of their bedrooms and little boys out of their bedrooms, and they implant them. As they get older, the little girls now that are in puberty, they impregnate the little girls and come back in the 3rd month of pregnancy and retake that fetus from the girl. They take sperm from the men, sperm from the boys. There's a breeding program going on. Their seed will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not cleave to them. That is from the 2nd chapter of Daniel. We talk about this at the end of our 4th film in the series. Folks, this is important information. We need to get this out. You need to help get this out. Buy the films, rent the films, invite a bunch of people over. We just got back from Colorado. So we have airfare and hotels, and we have to pay the sound guy and Chuck Zukowski, and we're paying all these people to come on the record. And we do it because this is our ministry. I'm not crying poor. I'm not. The Lord has blessed us. What I am saying is you need to help get the word out. It's time. It's time. It's coming. And I don't know how much window of time we have left before it really goes south. Let me finish this page, and then I'm gonna tell you something, tell you a story. Cattle mutilations have been linked with extraterrestrial activity since the 1970s and has been fueled by the absence of a logical explanation for the mutilations. Many cases are linked with the appearances of lights in the sky, i.e. UFOs, orbs. Ms. Gottschall said the Cook story matched reports of mutilations in the U.S., where the cattle was found laying on their side, dead and mutilated. She said often all the blood is removed and there was no sign of blood around the animal. And when an animal is laying on its side, you look for hoof marks. Where the animal has tried to get up, there is none, she said. So it is like it has come from somewhere else and it has been laid on the ground. It's exactly what's going on. They do it with impunity. They come and go as they please, and there's not a thing the ranchers can do to stop it. In 2013, a Missouri cattle farmer cried alien after finding 3 cows mutilated in her fields. And vets and police were unable to explain the cruel and mysterious deaths. Back in 1979, similar U.S. incidents were subject to an FBI investigation, in which authorities found some mutilations to be the result of natural predation, of cows being eaten as prey. However, in most cases, there was no explanation. The discrepancies caused many to believe there was a larger government plot afoot of evidence of extraterrestrial life. The Cook's daughter said the couple had information about similar incidents occurring a couple of decades ago, with no explanation at all. It really makes you think that there's something going on that the general public doesn't know about. Maybe there's something being kept hidden from us, Mrs. Cook said. She said that although bringing up aliens might have been considered odd in the past, the public is more accepting of the possibility of UFOs in the sky or extraterrestrial visitation, something she is not scared of anymore. If aliens want to, they're going to come and get you, she told the Daily Mercury. So what's the use of worrying? Folks, let me just say this. Let me just go back up here, and I'll weigh in on something. So we were going to go to the UK and I was going to speak at the largest UFO conference in the UK. And for whatever reason, the Lord said, don't go. So we bowed out of that conference. So then we lined up 2 to 3 weeks of film shooting in an unknown location, but again, across the pond. This was going to happen in early September. Now, I was in the shower about a week or 10 days ago. A lot of stuff happens in the shower. I just asked Steve Quayle. And the Lord said, don't go, just like that. And I went, wow. So that night at dinner, I said, we're not supposed to go to Europe and film. And as I was saying that, then the Lord gave me the marching orders. Finish the series. Get number 6, 7, and 8 out in the series. Number 6 is on cattle mutilations. We are in post-production. So hopefully, folks, we'll have that out to you sooner than later. By the way, I will be in Jupiter, Florida, coming April 21st, April 22nd. The coming Great Deception. It's coming. It's already here in some ways. And you know what? There are not too many Christian voices out there that are sounding the alarm, which is why we have 5 films in our series. They're all different. They're all standalone films. 5 films in the series right now. We're working on number 6. And Gil Zimmerman and I flew to Colorado, and we spent basically 4 or 5 days there filming. And I think it's going to be a great film. But it's on cattle mutilations. What do I think all this is about? It goes back to the breeding program. Cow's blood can be used in human transfusions. Are you aware of that? When they take the fetus from a woman, like Karen in number 4, she was abducted numerous times, and she was impregnated by them 3 different times, and they came in the 3rd month of pregnancy and took the child. I've heard this over and over and over again for the last 30 years. So what do they do with the child? It's only 3 months old. They incubate it. The cow's blood is to create an artificial womb. And the body parts taken from the cow are used to create an artificial womb, in my opinion. Can I prove that? I can't. But in my opinion, that's exactly what's going on. Also, we will be in Israel, October 8th to the 19th. We're up to 35 people now. The cutoff is 45 people. I just want 1 bus, not 2, because it just creates more intimacy with just 45 people. So 45 people, that's our cutoff. There's plenty of time, plenty of room right now. So go to lamarzulli.net, lamarzulli.net, and if you're interested, check it out. Also, part 5, crop circles. We are the only Christian ministry that I'm aware of that has 5 films, and they're all different, on the burgeoning UFO phenomena. Everything comes from a biblical standpoint, a biblical worldview. What are you waiting for? Streaming.lamarzulli.net, instant gratification. You can just, after you're done watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit like, and then you can go to streaming.lamarzulli.net and download number 5 on crop circles. Or if you want the hard copy, go to lamarzulli.net. I will be back tomorrow with questions for LA, and thanks so much for watching.